Good morning. How are you, Lynn?
Good morning. Fine. How are you, Rob?
Good. You ready for Salt Lake?
Sure am. I just got your email. Thank you. Take care of all
Welcome.
my other details. You staying warm up there?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's
Oh, good.
probably like high 30s.
Oh,
I mean, when I was down in Florida, it was getting into the low 40s.
I know. We had company here and it was chilly for them. They came down from the Jersey Shore, thought it was going to warm up.
Yep. The Alex bright and early at 5:30, right?
Alex,
Good
Morning,
morning, Rob.
guys.
Good
morning.
morning, Pavla. How are you?
Good. I didn't do my gym, so I'm gonna take off the camera if that's okay.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's dedication, right, Alex?
I think she's just showing off. I think it's just
Mhm.
her bragging that she's taking action today while we're sitting on our chairs. Good for you. That's awesome.
So this morning is it's the follow-up to the 4 disciplines of execution, and this all overlays very nicely into to Alex's P2P. Um, number 3 is keeping a compelling scoreboard to keep people motivated. Okay. And I know as I've been, kind of traveling around doing happy hours, I've actually been asked at least half a dozen times to do a better job at, sharing with the company where they stand and giving a scoreboard. And I've listened, I heard, we will be doing it. We are working on integrating it with Arizona, which is a different accounting system. So we'll try to do a company-wide and an office-wide compelling scoreboard. And then number 4, it's almost like it's a layup here, is create a cadence of accountability, right? So there's Pavla at the gym. She's committed to going to the gym. That's that accountability component. Um, so all this stuff is not rocket science. A lot of it is very, very basic fundamentals that, many of us have used in our own careers to be successful. But we're taking it to that next level and, adopting, our team members and trying to find a way to get them to embrace the principles that will get them to where they need to be. I mean, I used to say it never happens, but now I'm going to say it's very rare that somebody does all the activities and doesn't succeed. I have come across a couple people that, real estate isn't for them. And I think there's also there's a, there's a need to recognize that and coach them if it's not for them. And maybe you've seen people who will do whatever you ask them to do, but just don't have the it factor, right? And Alex, maybe I'm wrong with that, but maybe maybe you'd agree with that because you also have a lot of experience with ownership and team members. Do you think that there's some people that do all the right things and you just need to say maybe it's not the career for you, or have you not come across that? Because I used to not believe it, but now I've seen a few people that either they pretend to do it really well or they're not cut out for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely raw talent. I I believe that um, when I evaluate agents, I evaluate what do they bring to the table, and I have different like buckets. So like if I go with someone that's super young, I know they've got no sphere of influence. Typically, like they don't have kids, they don't have those communities that like some of the older people might have. But if they have strong social media, um, they are outgoing, they have those natural gifts, I would then look at that as an opportunity. So like what I do is when I meet someone, I just figure out what bucket do I think they're going to fall in, and if they got too many strikes against them, then I won't pursue. But if they've got like the it factor, like what you're talking about, and they're young, I'll bring them on. If they are maybe more, let's say, analytical or not naturally outgoing salespeople, but they had a former job in an opportunity where they knew lots of people. They're married. They're disciplined. And they have large like friendship groups and those things.
So,
Then
so
I'll look at that too. So I just look at like what do they bring to the table, and if they check the boxes, then I believe that everybody has the opportunity. Now, a lot of people don't, and if they have too many strikes against them, I won't bring them on.
okay. Well, I appreciate that expanded explanation. And I guess I just wanted to put out there that if everybody's doing the activities and they're not reaching threshold in a certain period of time, then it's probably okay to have a conversation about, moving on, because it
Right.
gets to the point where it becomes a drag on us and it brings us down to, in that case.
Or they're naturally really gifted, but they don't follow directions. That's very challenging.
Well, those ones there, I think we can really impact the naturally gifted, but there are some people that just don't naturally like, they're just not that personality. And I'm not a disc person, but I truly believe that I've come across a couple of people that, they've made the calls, they've gone on the appointments, they've come back with no fish. They're going
Right.
fishing and they got nothing on the line.
Right.
So
They're not
maybe it's time,
inspiring. They don't have
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
maybe it's
Yeah.
time to pack it in. Just a quick shout out. I saw Glenn. Sorry I didn't make it yesterday. I saw the photos with the sheriff. Nice ribbon cutting. Congrats on your team office in Boonton.
Thanks. Yeah, it was good. It went well. He issued us a proclamation.
Cool. I want to find something that I have here. Okay. I do a lot of nerdy things. Like I watch a lot of like biographies, thought leaders, things of that nature. And I'm wondering if it would be helpful to kind of share the better components of that with the group. And my fear is, like myself, the inbox choking, and there's too much on the inbox. But I watched something from, anybody know who Jamie Dimon is?
Chase, CEO, JP Morgan.
Yeah, Chase. Now, did you work there, Michael?
Yes.
And what was the culture? Just out of curiosity, what was the culture like there?
The culture, it wasn't like our culture where we're a big family, a very team atmosphere. It was more like individual. It was nothing compared to this type of brand that we're building here. You were all alone over there.
Okay. I mean, I think he has like 360,000 people that work there, so it's kind of hard to create that personal connection. But if you listen to him speak, I think he's one of the, most successful CEOs and perhaps a generation on the banking side. Okay. And he seemed very practical. He had an interview on one of the Sunday morning shows. I watched it on YouTube, but he says, what did he say? Said bureaucracies lead to politics, politics lead to cancer, and cancer leads to the death of a business. He said when he came there, all the banks were filled with bureaucracy, and he described it as meetings after meetings for the next meeting. And he said that you need to have heart, grit, curiosity, and you need to look at what's wrong, because he said what his competitors would do would be go into a call center or go into a market and get everybody together and say, you're doing a great job. And he said that his unique brand was, hey, congratulations, your numbers are good, but what can we be doing better? What can I do to help you to grow your business and eliminate the bureaucracy? He also said constant evaluation, constant analysis, constant observation, constant follow-up list, things of that nature, in order to move a organization as large as Chase Manhattan Bank, which to me was kind of amazing that you know, he's getting into the weeds of all these different details. I would have thought, I wouldn't have thought he would go visit a branch, and see what it's like and where they're falling short. And he also said that he likes to read the complaint mails that come in to see how they can improve themselves, which again also shocked me. 360,000 people, and I think he said that they service 80 million. They bank 80 million people in the U.S. I'll bet you he gets a lot of complaints. So anyway, if somebody can manage that type of ecosystem, it kind of makes it simpler for us to manage what we're doing, in my opinion. Not to say that it's not to say it's easy, but just to give it a matter of perspective. I mean, and maybe I'll direct this to you, Alex, first, then the team. But you know, like a daily motivational thing. Does anybody subscribe to anybody's, like, you know, daily inspirational thing? I know a lot of people put out like a daily email or text, coaches and
Yes,
whatnot.
I have Mike Ferry comes
Me
every
too.
day.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, his are good.
So you both are Mike Ferry.
Uh-huh.
So what does he do? He sends out an email or a text? Probably an email, right?
Email.
And do you is it a video email or is it just
It's just like 5 inspirational sayings.
okay? And does it get to be annoying, or do you
No,
do
they're pretty
you-
good. They're pretty good. I can send you some samples if you're interested, Rock.
Okay.
I forward it to the team. Sometimes if I like them, I forward it on. They're never bad, but sometimes they're better than other times. He uses a lot of Zig Ziglar and, well, everybody. He takes wisdom from a number of disciplines and people.
Well, you know, I like his bluntness and his directness as opposed to some of the other people who, you know, talk circles around using technology and whatnot. And I think there's a balance to all of it. You know, I mean, you need the technology, but you also need to have the, you know, the face-to-face, the presentation skills. And, you know, the more I listen to him, the more I see similarities to the way we do business from the team perspective. You know, like for example, today, you know, he's like, don't ever take a listing that's more than 5% overpriced. You know, and you know, he just talks about like a lot of the basic stuff. And it's not to say don't take that listing. It's to say, you know, be brutally honest with the people if you've done your homework, and you'll probably wind up with the business. And if you do walk away from business, you're probably better to have walked away from business, because there truly is bad business, right? And we've all had a client that, you know, when we see the phone ring, we cringe, right? Maybe because we categorize them as a little bit insane or a lot unrealistic, right? They have a cloud over their head. So anyway, maybe what I'll do, because I'm still not there on a daily basis. Maybe I'll send out to the company a Monday message from the best of what I've seen, and it won't be me. It will be a clip from somebody else, or a link to a podcast that they can listen to that's short to try to help you know, better understand and better explain the core principles. Anyway, I will not be Mike Farr, and I do think if I do it, it'll be a video clip, not a. So you just send out like 5 things in an email, Beth?
Yep. Pretty much 5 bullets. I think it's 5, right, Pavla? Usually
And you know, no, it's not 5. it's an email, and there is a video as well that is being sent, I believe, on Mondays. So
Yeah, that's true, but right. I don't always watch the video, but I always read the inspirational quotes.
Rob,
Right.
Rob,
Yes.
we listen to Darren Hardy, comes out Monday through Friday, sends it as email and text. And as soon as someone joins our team, we send them a waterproof speaker so they can listen to it in the shower. Met him at R4 back in 2011. Went to a few of his conferences. Now everything is on Zoom, but very, very enlightening, very successful. He did have a minute in real estate, but he talks about businesses and many of the people that he met when he owned Success magazine. Plus, he's published some top New York Times bestsellers, Compound Effect and Sales Entrepreneur and the Roller Coaster. So that's Darren Hardy.
Mm.
He's good.
Dynamic, definitely dynamic guy. Seen him a lot, and if you don't come away inspired, there's something wrong with you. Want to talk about two other things, like more housekeeping or market related items. I don't know if anybody or everybody noticed that we are now turning through a new president at corporate. Amy
Yes.
Messenger has moved on, and I think that's a sign of the times, and that perhaps the clock to perform in this economy, in this environment, is probably shorter than it used to be pre-COVID, right? And I don't see how that has any direct impact on us. And I also want to put out there that RE/MAX has extended us a recruiting incentive to bring candidates out to R4 for 2 days. If they register by, I think it's the 4th, I have to double check the date. I want to say it's the, I was going to say the 14th, but that's too soon. Glenn, do you have that email handy I sent you? It has the date on it. And if they register, they'll get 2 nights hotel and the full registration, including fun night. Even if you're not going, I will be glad to host them. I think Chopper, we had one lady out last year out we took her out to dinner. Unfortunately, that one's still in play. We haven't onboarded her, but I'd like to get out, maybe at least half a dozen to a dozen people to see if they can, take a look behind the curtain of what RE/MAX has to offer and, reinforce the team value proposition if you're not going.
I'll be there.
You're going, Glenn, you're going, right? Alex is going. Anybody else?
I'll be there.
I'm going, Rob.
Scott, you're going, and Lynn,
Be
you're going
there.
R4?
I'll be there,
Okay.
so will Dan from my team.
Fantastic. So that's almost, it's like almost half. That's impressive.
Yeah, got Patrick and Benny going.
Hey, Rob, is that based on production? I know when we did that up in Canada, they wanted to make sure that the agents actually were producers before they paid for their hotel and ticket. And we have to pay for it out of pocket first, and then you get reimbursed. Is that what happens?
Correct. When they show up, you get reimbursed. Correct.
Yeah. So we just want to make sure that if they don't show up, then we get stuck with the bill. So we want to make sure they're reasonable candidates for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And the way that I've managed it the few other times that we've done it through the years was, Glenn, do you see that? What's the date to register? Do you have that there?
I think it's in RE/MAX Recruit or
No, I can find it here.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see here. Send.
It's definitely a great perk.
Here. So what I would suggest doing, especially if you have somebody that is a little bit uncertain, is make sure that they bought their flight before we register them, and then we reimburse them their flight after they attend.
Their
Okay,
flights included?
no. So I would, for the one I did, I reimbursed her for her flight after she attended, and I gave her a budget of like $350. So she had to buy.
That's an RSG thing. That's not a corporate thing.
Oh no, it's definitely not a corporate thing. But
Yeah.
I did that from a selfish perspective because I figured if she bought the flight, she'd actually show up. This way, I'm covered. I don't have to pay for the room that she doesn't show up for, or the conference
You're
ticket.
hedging
I'm
your
not getting
bet.
reimbursed on. Correct. So it's $900 plus what, like $700 for the room. So that's $1,600. I'm reimbursing $350 to get my 1,600 back. I thought it was a good deal.
And it's a full trip. That's a nice perk. If I was, yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yep. So I'm just looking for the timeline to register for that.
I can bring it up
Okay.
during the Path to Platinum program. We'll be talking about R4 today.
When I was on one of the Ben Fairfield calls, he pointed out that KW family reunion is the week before, I think at the same hotel. And so if we're recruiting KW agents, you could see if they would stay on.
Just go all the way through Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a long time in Vegas.
yeah, that's brutal. I don't.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Donate
Well,
a-
the option is they can pay to go to the family reunion, or they get paid for to go to the Remax one. So don't bother going to the family reunion.
Be aware that I think KW pays for our agents to go there as well.
Right.
Today?
They
Right? I
do.
think Charlie, is that how you got hooked at KW or no? Charlie?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. What was that?
I said, did you get hooked by going to a family reunion before you went to KW or no?
No. It had something to do with something else, though.
All right. Have you ever been to a family reunion?
I only went to one mega and one family.
Okay. All right. So I will, where the heck is the,
I didn't see a date there. Maybe the 14th, Rob? That's tomorrow, Tuesday?
yeah, that's,
No, it'll be the
too early.
14th of February. It wouldn't be this month.
Yeah, because it just came out.
It would be a couple weeks before the event.
Maybe there's a Tuesday in Feb is the 14th. No, it
Let
isn't.
me see. Register now. Let me see.
January 14th, learn actual strategies, build your business.
Amy's picture's still on there.
Give it a little bit more time, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it's not-
that's not Amy. That's Aaron. Never mind.
Yeah, you would think it would be more prevalent there, wouldn't you?
I think they're pretty good to the last. I mean, the reality is that they
I mean,
don't
I
really
think
have to pay
it's
until they
definitely
show
till
up.
it's definitely till the end of the month. It might even be till the middle of February for the event. So let's just go with it's valid till the end of the month. I'll get more details out to you next Monday's meeting.
Rob, how much do you think that would cost value-wise? Because that's like
Oh,
a
here.
big part
I
of it.
found it here. Hold on. It's on Max Recruit. Build your business with Remax at R4.
Okay, well, you're looking for that. Rob, what do you think the cost of that would be, like value-wise? Like you're looking at $800 for the ticket, and the hotel is probably $600 for 2 nights. Two
Yeah,
nights?
probably yeah, it's 2 nights at the hotel. It's probably more like a $700 thing, but yeah, 600 or
Okay.
700.
And then you're covering the flight, so $2,000, $2,000. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So-
I'll be leveraging it.
And if you have people that are coming on board to your team, I do believe that in the reading I had that they have to be with a competitor. And I didn't see a minimum production standard. But
Nice.
presumably, they're not going to be zero producers. I'm sure I'll get rubbed if we're bringing on zero producers.
Right. They have to be licensed for a bit.
Yeah, and
Not
productive.
newly licensed.
And
It
productive.
doesn't, no deadline. They have to have an active real estate license. That's the only, and it can't be a walk up. You have to pre-register.
It does say no
Wow.
deadline.
It doesn't say no
A
deadline, but there is no deadline stated. You just have to pre-register them.
And Chopper, with your team, you have 3 people going, including yourself, or 4?
Yeah, I got Patrick, Benny, and I'm getting an award, so my wife's coming for the first time.
Okay.
But I told her she can't come again until I get another award. So that's the
And-
only time I go to Vegas that she doesn't attend.
What
And-
award are you getting?
Circle of Legends, I think it's called.
Nice.
That's 10 million, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Chopper,
nice.
do you know where your 10 million went? I'm still looking for where I got
Yeah.
my lifetime achievement. I have no idea where all that money went.
For you, Alex, I'll let you know. It's look to the government.
Yeah, nice singer. Yeah. Justin has it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I know Glenn will get to his circle a lot quicker than it took me.
Yeah.
And do you help your team with expenses going out, or they're on their own?
Me? No.
Yeah.
In fact, you were saying flights for 350. I'm like, where the hell are you sitting on the wing? They banged us. It was $1,000.
Yeah, mine was $1,000.
Wait, to go to
Yeah.
Vegas?
Oh, that week is crazy. There must be everybody and their brothers going out there for other conferences. Yeah.
Oh.
When they did it end of March, they were cheap. I mean, I went first class for like 700. But no, it's economy is 1,000. But yeah, I pay for everything. I just made them pay for the registration, which they banged that up. That used to be $599. Now it's what, $800 or $700.
Yeah, I heard that last year that they lost north of $2 million on the conference, and their normal tolerance is $1 million, which to me is kind of surprising because I know they bend over all the vendors, right?
Yes.
Rob,
Yeah,
I
I would
I've
have
heard
thought
that this
They
year
whack them
there's,
in the
less
convention
attendees.
center.
I'm sorry.
They
I-
they whack them in the convention center. I used to show there. They get extremely high rates.
Rob, I heard something that this year there's less, there's only like 2,500 people registered so far, which is back to like what 2020 or 2021 when the COVID Orlando conference. That's going to be like 1/4 of what normally show up.
I think 10,000 is like was the 50th anniversary, was like a really high one. And I think normally it's more like 5,000 or 6,000, so it might be more like half. But I would suspect a lot of people don't register that early. I don't know the registration habits of people. But knowing the audience, they probably come late.
There's been
Um,
some recent scuttlebutt. Scott's right. The attendance is way off. But I've been reading that a lot of people are going. They're just going to hang out at Mandalay, have their own meetings, and not attend the conference for whatever.
I heard that too.
Yeah, which is a bunch of shiitake. I don't know what's wrong with these people. You know.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
if
that's the feedback of the cost of the conference, like why wouldn't they try to do something maybe mid, like, $400 or $500 and you can get way more people that come. Like try to find ways to get more seats into the venue, and then maybe upsell them when they get there. Like start off with a small reg rate and
Right.
then have rooms that cost money or something. Like it
Didn't
just doesn't
they
work.
used to have a 2-day pass too, right? Without the fun pass, so you could get for like $4.99 instead of $6.99.
Yeah.
And now they built the fun pass in. So I guess with your budgetary constraints, you could try to sell your ticket. Kidding.
No, you can't. It's all included. Yeah.
Yeah,
I also
it'll
think
be
there's
into a
less.
non-remax.
included the
put it-
band now.
You can put it on StubHub or wherever they sell it.
Rob, I also
CD.
think there's less classes, and because they're offering less classes up front, a lot of people might find it to be less value because there's only a few to choose from in reality. Where like the 50th anniversary, I mean, every hour you had like 3 or 4 different classes at least to choose from, where now it is very limited. Like I went through and I only picked out maybe like 5 out of the entire trip that are worth me going to.
Yeah, Scott's right. And they didn't have like courses on that first day, like those old all day courses they used to have.
No,
Yeah,
no 501.
They do. They still have that for owners. So,
Oh, yeah.
and I'll give you, Alex, how was have we seen the normal, fallout for attendance or?
Yeah, we get a range of excuses. It just comes, as soon as that accountability form hits them, they just they start to wiggle. It's actually been lower, but I mean, I'm still waiting for documents to come back. So, it's interesting. Like we've maybe lost 7 people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So are you
and-
waiting for the document to come back that has the all the results integrated into a single?
I have that already, and I feel like it's important that I'm going to share just like some detail. I'll share it with their individual team leaders. What
No,
their
you
team's
really
doing.
mean squad. You mean squad leaders, right? Since we're
Yes, sir. Yeah.
'cause it gets confusing. So squad leaders of the program.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's been good. Interesting stat for you. The top 5 production of last week were 4 out of 5 of them were the squad leaders.
4 of the 5 top producers were the leaders themselves.
Yeah.
And how many teams are there?
We've got 12.
I thought there were 13. Did one
No. I think there was. Let me just see.
on the roster? There was 13, but maybe one.
Yeah, well, we did have one team leader that decided not to.
Okay, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, so let's let Alex do some of the heavy lifting for us with our teams, and we'll play the support role to hold them accountable. And I'm convinced if they do the activities, there's no question that they're going to see an impact on their business and start the year off correctly.
Yeah, I'd love some feedback from some of the team leaders that are on the call right now. Like, what are they hearing? Like, first week in, lots of bugs getting worked out, but we're starting to take the jet off the runway here. Do you guys have any feedback from the team so far on how the course is going and the challenges and that kind of stuff?
They're excited. It was no big deal. I think once you got the link sent out to do the reporting, I mean, that's really smooth and easy, and it really only takes like, if you've been doing a good job of tracking, it takes like 2 minutes to fill that thing out.
Yeah.
I think everyone did it except one person, and I have to check with you. I think I did not get a response at all from her, so she may be on the bubble. But
just out of curiosity, I'm going to just go through real quick. Beth, and Vero and Celebration, are they all on your team?
yes,
How many total?
11, I think.
Chopper, anybody on your team on it or no?
Yeah, it's Patrick, Maddie, and Pat. Anybody else?
Looks like Pat might have dropped off.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely Patrick and Matt. I think there's a third. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, Paul, Texera, anybody on your team?
No, we initially signed up, but myself and Sophia, the broker manager, and we got off just because we have other things going on with the Feeney and everything. It's just too many classes at the same time.
Deb, did you sign up?
Yeah, I did, and I'm here, and I have 2 people who have already dropped. I have someone who said, well, I'll come in late, who had said yes, and now she hasn't. But one of the feedbacks that I'm getting is they would like to see some more of the activities as an agent to make them more money and not just trying to bring people into the company. That was one of the feedbacks that I got from a few different people.
Okay.
That's a very interesting perspective. Did anybody else feel that way? Because I don't think I really touched on that too much last week. So maybe they weren't listening to the role playing and the build your sphere of influence conversation that I talked about. Because
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it that way.
no, that was weird. But
Danielle,
today's actually going to be really good because it's all about prospecting strategies, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that, if they're looking to like figure out how to prospect, like today's session is going to be really good. Like really, really
It's
good.
not just on the prospecting and all that, it's like the points. Like you
Oh,
get
yeah.
for making calls and for doing an open house and all of that kind of stuff, but then you get 50 points for a person and you can get 150 for someone. So they didn't feel that like on the points that they were going to ever make it.
Interesting.
That's what
Well,
it
it's
was.
only
That's what it comes down to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So they were really zeroing in on the point system, which is cool because that just shows that they're vested in the competition. I like that. Okay, well, that's good feedback.
Danielle, do you have people on?
I do. Pretty much almost everybody on my team.
Perfect. Scott Kaplan?
Yes, sir. So this was a very interesting situation. We were driving back from Tennessee and we logged on to the call, had our team log on to the call. So we're driving and listening to Alex and everything. One of my new team members actually after the call, or not after the call, but after our meeting, decided to quit Remax because it was too much pressure, too much responsibility. And we were like, okay, well, thanks for the attempt anyway, because at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to do the work, he's not going to succeed. So we figured it was a good time for him to part ways. Meanwhile, Christina jumped on the program. And in the last week, I mean, she did one of her first open houses, which went great, had 9 sets of people, might have a buyer, has converted 2 of our leads that the team was having struggle with. So it's motivated her and she's going to show them that you can be successful. While the other 2 sat back and said it was too much work.
Okay. And real quick, Michael Gopi and Bobby G.
Yeah, I have on my team everybody basically in the Boynton office. Plus, I have 1 additional person in Palm Beach Gardens. I'm Todd.
Okay. Very good. And feedback is positive. What's just in a nutshell? What do you think, Michael?
Very positive. So this year is going to be my 2nd year as a team leader. So any business, the first year is about, any business owner takes a loss their first year. It's about training and educating. So my agents right now in year 2 are ready to rock and roll. So the door knocking, the calls, appointment set, listing appointments. I mean, they're doing phenomenal. They're embracing this program.
So Michael, maybe
really
next
well.
week you can talk about the success from your buyer seminar, okay?
Yeah, of course.
All right, because that was, I mean, I think when I was down there, you had what, 2 or 3 people that were actually either closing or applying for loans or under contract, and that was only what, 2 months ago?
2 months ago. And then when Frank came in town from Model Mortgage, the beauty of it was the referrals. We had 2 referral appointments that I set him for last week. So from that seminar, on top of the people, they're talking about our seminar to all their friends and family. So it was a very successful event.
Perfect. And then last but not least, the Bobby G. And I know, Lynn, you're not on it because you were out. So Bobby G.
Rob, can you hear me? I'm not sure if I'm getting through.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I can just talk personally. The program, I took Sweat Hogs a couple times myself, so I'm a little bit familiar with the process. But the program itself has gotten me, this past week, got me to do things that I haven't done in a long, long time. So it has certainly lit a fire under me a little bit. As far as the feedback from the people in the office is, the whole setup of the whole thing, a little bit chaotic for people, but they're sticking in, they're sticking to the program, they're staying in. I haven't talked to them about their production or anything like that, but it does appear that people are definitely motivated to stick with the program to the end.
Perfect. And Bobby, running a team is going to help carry a little bit of the load from you. And every month we have that little conversation about production in that big office roster that you have. Glenn, are any of your people on?
5 total, including myself.
Okay. And any feedback? Because we're way over time today, but just what's your thoughts?
I think the only thing was in the meeting, I wasn't aware that we had to put in the trackers. So I had them sending theirs paper copies because they're all paper copy people in. And my admin was going to put them in today. So they'll probably be up in arms if it's closed out.
No, you're
Because
good.
I
We
gave
got
them
it
the wrong
open.
instructions.
Glenn, I left the tracker form open. It's
Okay.
just the leaderboard it's already in place. So for this week, their numbers will carry forward, but they will not be on the leaderboard this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I put in the numbers for one agent because before we knew we were going to have the automated tracker, he sent me his numbers. And so when I went to do, you can't change your email, but I hope he got credit for the numbers. Because
Yeah,
I did it with my name, but then I put his name and his email. So I think it worked.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
fantastic. Well, this is the longest one we've ever had, so I appreciate you hanging in there with me, and have a great productive week. If you guys need anything, just hit me up directly, okay?
Thanks, guys.
Have
See
a
ya.
good week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.